Hi, I'm Uma
Hi.
Joy, and I am here tonight with Kelly Bonzel. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. Life is good. Life is good.
Good.
So, we're here for our Monday Night Live with all of you. Those of you that are here in person or will join us as we continue on in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. And those of you that may watch this at a later time, we connect with you in the quantum field too. So we send you peace and blessings on this wonderful day. And the reality is, I try to look at every day as this wonderful day because they are blessings.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So Kelly, you want to tell us what's happening tonight?
Sure. So, we're in the middle, or not the middle, but we are into our 21 daily practices, the solstice series, looking at self-discovery and how we can, you know, learn more about ourselves through the creative process and other practices and just contemplative, um, intentional ways that we can spend our time. And Uma mentioned this morning just the word, she's like, I'm thinking about receiving. And so when she said that, it was interesting because there was actually a lot of like different things like, okay, and I, like I felt like a stickiness with that word, which I think is really interesting. Um, and I also kind of let it open up, and then just speaking with you a couple minutes before, just the idea of receiving um, the the abundance and the beauty. Beauty is a big thing for me, like with the capital B, like just the things that move you and kind of help you in your becoming and stop you and just let you become present. Um, and so I'm just thinking this out as I'm saying it, but that's really what I'm been receiving from this practice, not only participating in it, but creating it and coming up with these ideas and knowing that there are those of you out there that are in circle with us participating, um, and just feeling that energy and with such gratitude and receiving that growth of energy that's coming from having our beloveds join us in this. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for that explanation. And and I love that because as I've thought about it through this day, and like Kelly said, I woke up this morning and that word was there for me, and so it's like, well, what do we want to talk about tonight? And there are so many blessings that are happening. Yes, with the 21 daily practices that we're going through with a number of beloveds right now, as well as in everyday life. And so when I'm thinking about receiving, so the abundance of the universe, and well, how does that work? And how do we show up in receiving? Because so many of us are really good at giving. And then what is our relationship with receiving? Whether it's from the universe or from people around us. Some of you are aware. Recently, I've been working on building a studio, and the whole concept of the quote Kickstarter or something similar. And in the past, there is no way that I would have been able to do that. And yet, when people were saying, "How can we help?" There was this opportunity for me to receive and to acknowledge that by receiving, we give that gift to someone else. When we're thinking about this 21 daily practice that we're doing, the universe is definitely giving wonderful abundance. And we show up, we do our work, and we're open to that receiving of the goodness, not only from the universe, but whatever you want to call the universe or wherever this stuff comes from. And then also the gift of the beloveds trusting us and sharing their time because they're also believing in what we're doing. And
Yeah.
that's a can be a tough thing to do. And it's a great practice to be open to that receiving.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I think about how I sometimes miss it and miss the opportunity to really, I am picturing like just basking in the light of that receiving,
Mhm.
because I'm either like my head's down and I'm already thinking about the next thing, right? I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, I did that. And then like, what's the next thing? And, and missing it, not looking up to, like whether it's a thank you or whatever it is that's kind of bringing in that like receiving. Um, or I think, which is really common, is just not feeling worthy of that. And so, dimming your light so that you're not, no, it's no big deal. Yeah, instead of like, you're welcome. Yeah, or whatever it is. I think I'm definitely guilty of both of those. And as I'm saying that, I'm also guilty of sometimes, this is embarrassing to say, but like feeling like, oh, poor me, like nobody is doing anything, like I'm doing all these things and nobody's doing anything for me. And I don't know, getting in that place of like, I don't even know what the word is for it. Um, but again, not opening my eyes, not realizing what there is,
Mhm.
around me that I have to receive. Maybe I'm not getting it in the way that I think, like I did this thing for this person and I thought they would do a thing for me, right? And
Mhm.
not that's not happening. So you get stuck in like, well, I'm not receiving here. And then all over here is like, the light. And you're like, just kind of turn and face a different direction. And
Yeah.
I just, this evening I had, I don't know, I had an experience like today was kind of a hard day for whatever reason, just my mood. And then I took a walk when I got home with my kids, and I just started thinking about like I got to like play with clay with my art students today, and it was so fun. And then like look at my kids like here, and I mean just stopping and just
Yeah.
noticing how much I had to be grateful for. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. And, as you first started, what your response was in that, okay, well, I'm this, and now I'm on to the next thing. And what hit me is when we do that, I wonder, the concept of that self-worth came in for me. And it's like when we receive to stop and breathe it in this great, thank you so much. It's that acknowledgement, not only to ourselves, but to all that there is, that yes, I acknowledge I am worthy of receiving. And thank you. Thank you for that offering. And it doesn't mean that makes my self-worth increase, but by I acknowledging that I am worth it or worthy, then I think that the universe provides even more.
yeah,
And yes, then we go into the expectations. Well, when we give, which many of us give and give and give, can we do it freely? And we can always choose where we wish to give. And can we, I love the way you said, well, wait a minute, but I'm not getting what I wanted. Oh, but I am getting so much more.
yeah,
And so, can we open up to all of the areas that we are able to receive from?
yeah. And sometimes it's mysterious. Like I'm thinking again just to my day today, and whatever put me in this mood, I was kind of like, and I did this, it's like, that's too long of a story, but I did this meditation, and it was like usually something that would really bring me into a place of, oh, yes, that's true, that's true. And I was resisting it. I was almost like laughing at the guided meditation, like, okay, when it was like, can you let go of control and can you not have expectations? And I'm like, whatever, which is so unlike me, especially right now. So I was like, on the way home, I was like, why was I doing that? Like, what? And the awareness that something was off today,
Mhm.
the awareness to be able to like reflect on that and question, like, that was unlike you, Kelly, like, what's going on? And to bring light, I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, like, that is a gift. It didn't feel like all glittery and with a bow on it or anything, but it was definitely like, I'm so grateful that I have received enough, practice and insight and self-reflection and self-discovery and teachers like you, and that I am able to like not just be like, oh well, life is just dumb or whatever, but to go, that's interesting, to be curious,
Yeah.
curiosity is something that
Yeah.
I've received, that I'm so grateful for. It just shifts things in such a
Great.
beautiful way. Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
I just want to take a little side note here that I do notice that there are some people popping in and out, and I invite you to let us know in the chat or in the messages below who you are, and if you have any comments about this conversation. We're always open to having input from those of you that show up, whether again it's right now that you are here present with us, or later if you are watching the replay. We invite you to make comments as well. And this is, we might be live and see each other. We can't see you, but we feel you in the quantum field. And
Yes,
so, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
yes, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. So, what does it? You know, I'm just thinking in terms of where we find, if there's places that we find it more difficult to receive than other times. And when we shy away from it. And so this is just kind of coming up for me right now in this moment, as opposed to the pre-thought of, well, everything is directed and this is what we're going to talk about. It's like, so when do we find it more difficult to receive? Is it certain things? Is it gifts? Is it love? Is it help? And how does that tie into asking for what we need and being open to receive it?
That's such a beautiful inquiry. I think, kind of that curiosity thing, because
Mhm.
like I said, when you mentioned it this morning, there was like this, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I mean, I know what it means, but I just had like, I kept trying it on, but now thinking of it in terms of like what areas is it challenging to receive? Like I'm already, oh, yeah, and that I think is just a little signal that, there's something, I don't know, there to explore, like
Mhm.
within yourself. And
Mhm.
yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, well, as I think back, as I mentioned a minute ago, in terms of with the studio and the whole concept of people saying, well, why don't you do a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or whatever? And it was like, asking for people's help with money, that's an old story, that how many of us, I mean, we're taught, many of us, I was taught, we don't talk about money, and we don't talk about what our state of finances are, and we don't ask for money and whatever. And what I have learned over the last number of years is that's a bunch of baloney. I can let go of that old story.
Yeah.
And when someone says, wow, Thank you. I'm so excited to help you. And not just talking about this situation with the studio, but I want to help you. It's like, wow, okay, thank you. And
Mm.
how many times have I been there? What can I do to help you? What can I do? I had no problem with that. But oh, wait a minute. And it feels freeing to let go of those old stories, whether it's a financial one or whether it's just helping in general. Um, you know, I'll carry in 6 bags of groceries, but if someone says, "Well, can I help you?" "Oh no, I've got this." It's like,
Yeah.
carrying in 6 bags, and so it's
It's
interesting to really
it's
look at
so
what are
interesting.
this? What are these old
Yeah,
stories? Yeah,
I know. I mean, there's so many. I have like these ideas of like, do I not want to be somebody who needs help? Like I'm totally self-sufficient,
right, right.
but I'm not. Like there's a lot of things that I don't think anybody is, no matter what your financial or, muscles or age or like whatever, like everybody needs
Yeah,
something. And then, what we talked about, like the worthiness of, am I worthy of this? And am I gonna, I don't know, there's so many. And I wouldn't have thought that like those stories would be coming up with this like topic of receiving for some reason.
hmm.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting.
Well, that's one of the
Yeah.
things that for me is so fun about these Monday Night Lives is
Yeah.
we might come up with a topic, but we don't know where it's going to go,
No.
and
Yeah.
so and it doesn't mean that we're going to solve it all during the conversation, but hopefully it gives us as well as those of you that are watching, things to think about.
Yes.
And if you think Uma and Kelly, you completely missed the boat, then we would love to see that in the comments, and
Yes.
or anything that you've been musing about that we can bring to the table here and talk about.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to completely change subjects for a moment, because we got reminded today that about a month ago we started working towards putting our new YouTube channel together. And so, with our 21-day practice and some other videos that we have made, and some of our creative musings, we are getting our channel up and going. And so, we invite you to look at it. It's on YouTube, Creative Musings with Uma Joy and Kelly Bonzel. And we'll put a link here on this page as well. But we invite you to come and visit it. Maybe look at some of the videos. If you like them, like them. We'd love for you to subscribe. And so that's just something else that Kelly and I have been working on and would like to share with you.
Yes.
I see we have not to just cut that off. I see we have
No,
a
no.
comment from Bonnie. It's very hard to receive help. I was taught that was a huge weakness. Yeah. Yeah. When we
Yeah.
ask for help, oh, wow, we're needy, we're weak, we're not
Selfish.
capable. And I just
Yeah.
really want to reinforce for all of us that that's not true. And the people that taught us that, maybe they thought that, or they were taught that, or whatever, but it's just not true. And when we think about, we talk about the red thread and we're all connected. We're in this together. And
Yeah.
when you pull on the red thread, I'm there for you, even if I don't know consciously that you're pulling on the red thread in that moment. We are
Yeah.
in together on this planet Earth, and what can we do to support and honor and build up each other in a good way,
Yes.
with pure love and free
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I've started this, which way am I going? This painting here, which is for a place that it could potentially sell, like it's going to be for sale. And I had a moment in our creative musings about that I wanted to open up to receive abundance and prosperity, and I'd been shutting that. And I mean, that's like exactly what we're talking about, right? But when I wrote my intention on it, it was like I receive abundance and prosperity with grace and generosity, like with the feeling that I am wanting to like share what I have and to be like this reciprocal thing. And not that I can't just receive it and hold it and let it light me up and do what it needs to do in my life too, but that like I'm always thinking about what opportunity that will provide for, you know, my family and for others that I can give to. And um just like it's like that energy, that back and
Yeah.
forth. I think that
Yeah.
helps when we
Yeah.
think of it that way, that
Hmm.
we deserve it all just because. And you know, if we can imagine that
Yeah. Yeah.
exchange. Yeah.
Yeah. We give, we receive, we give, we receive.
Yeah.
And both are important.
Just
Both
like the
are
earth, I
important.
mean, it's like kind of going, but I was just like how the earth and receives, you know, the nourishment, you know, if you think of a plant and the rain and the light and everything's all happening and then it's, you know, providing. I mean, it's just, it's like the cycles, you know, it
Yes.
really
Yeah.
is. I've
Yeah.
been trying to connect and understand my
Yeah.
life like through what just happens. I know we're close to
Right.
the end of our time here. I do also want to invite, if you haven't signed up for our 21-day daily practices, we're on day 6, but you certainly could join us now and watch the previous 6, or read the post, the prompts, you know, on your own time. And we're also offering our Creative Musings on Thursday night live Zoom class, complimentary for the next 2 weeks, to those who are signed up for our 21 daily practices, um, because we love to be in circle with you and it's fun to share, especially in this really energizing time. So message or leave a comment. We'll have information on this page, our Creative Musings page, all about that. And it would be lovely to see your practices and meet you in the quantum virtual realm. So please do.
Indeed. Thank you for bringing that up. And so, yes, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to meeting you on the daily practices, creative musing, or seeing you again next Monday night. We'll be
Yeah.
here again with another topic. And so, peace and blessings to all of
Peace and
you.
blessings.
Thank you for
Yes.
joining us live or for
Yes.
watching us later. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.